Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and Boxing Day. It was a well-needed 2 days off for myself. Today, of course, we're going to be diving into Cardano, and we've got a lot to catch up on. I have been keeping everybody up to date on my Twitter as things have unfolded. We've been kind of making calls on where we think things are going, but we are certainly making moves in the right direction. And really, what I want to focus on in this video is why I think you could be in for a bit of a mega move for ADA. You know, fundamentally, there are a million and one reasons why Cardano is going to be successful and certainly do well as we're starting to see dApps turn on. But also technically, it's beautiful, you know, and this, we could have potentially seen the bottom for Cardano and now go on our journey to all-time highs and beyond. So we're going to talk about all that in this video. We will look at Bitcoin, of course, as well. I actually think Bitcoin's also going to make a move up to sort of the 58k, potentially plus range. We might find a little bit of resistance at 58k, but I'll explain it all in this video. So this is going to be very heavily chart-based. We have got so much coming for you guys in the new years. We're going to release a Moonbag video, which consists of very speculative plays that I think could do very well, 10, 15, 20, 100x. Altcoins that are speculative, and we're actually going to set up a all in crypto portfolio. We'll maybe put $1,000 into each coin or something and keep it public so that people can see exactly what we're investing in and do it as really a thought experiment and a way for you guys to perhaps follow along and, you know, see whether you think that the coins that I pick may or may not be worth investing in. That's up for you guys. I'm not a financial advisor. We're also going to be getting into the world of CNFTs. I am so unbelievably bullish on Cardano, and one reason is the adoption we've seen of CNFTs. You know, I have a lot of people that are on ETH that I talk to reluctantly, I'm joking, who are big on Ethereum NFTs, have done very well on them, that are now looking to CNFTs. And one reason I'm so bullish on CNFTs and NFTs as a whole, even though personally I'd rather own physical art, it's not something I personally have much pleasure out of other than to make money, is because Coinbase essentially are going to launch an NFT marketplace. That's huge for retail adoption, and I think now is very early. So we've got so much coming, and of course we're going to be giving daily Cardano updates, moving into a variety of other altcoins and so on and so forth. So let's really talk about what's happened for ADA. Now, those of you who are following me on Twitter would have known we've called this as we've been going along. So this is the kind of bottoming structure that we saw, which was a descending triangle. These will typically break to the downside as you see more. You know, you keep knocking on that door of the downside, and you can see the bottom descending line of support really was that door, and you kept knocking on it, but ultimately broke to the upside. And we did say that this was actually quite likely given the circumstances, regardless of the bearish pattern. We then from there on found ourselves, and I'll show you all this on the chart in just a second, found ourselves moving on and hitting the next level of descending resistance that had actually previously held us on a number of contact points. Certainly in the last two fake outs, they were pumps, but they were met very, very quickly with downside momentum, which these aren't. You know, it's very, the current structure that we're going through is very different from the one that we've previously been through, and this is a real step in the right direction, but we're going to get into it all. So we broke that. We said that you're expecting more continuation, and we did indeed get that, and we broke with strength through another kind of not a significant level of descending resistance. We set up a bullish pennant. You said you're probably likely to break to the upside from that. You did indeed, but it was met with a kind of larger descending resistance within this kind of symmetrical triangle, which is a chart continuation pattern. But there's a number of bullish signs also that you got there. You were holding your EMA and so on and so forth. And we said, expect continuation, guys. ADA clause is coming. And that is indeed where we are at today. So we'll show you that. This was the last tweet that we wrote on the price, and we've got that pump, and I am still expecting continuation, ladies and gentlemen. Right now for ADA, and we'll talk about a macro time frame. This is a really, really, and we'll use this zone here, really, really key level for Cardano. And once you clear it, and you can see where you are today previously, if you look at the red line kind of running across the screen, you can see previously this has typically been heavy resistance. You can see the contact point there, and whenever you've got kind of close to it, and certainly over here, you know, you found that as resistance. So once you get past this level, if you look at what kind of comes to the top side of this, it's usually a significant move to the upside. So if we take a couple of percentages, for example, you know, that saw a 58% move. And over here, which are at a very similar point today, guys, that saw a 99% move. So it's 99% back to our all-time highs. I think you are going to go above and beyond that. And I think one main catalyst fundamentally is the fact that we are seeing these dApps start to deploy and come online. You know, we're going to see Sunday Swap very soon, and we're going to see a basket of other DeFi dApps that are all going to utilize and run on Cardano, utilize and lock up the underlying token. We've spoken in great detail about all that. So you could be in for a mega move, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly on the long-term time frame, this is the schematic that we have laid out for you. We think it's very a kindred. Originally, we had our Elliott wave theory, and I'll show you on the a larger time frame. I'll also show you the weekly RSI, which we had spoke about previously. Originally, we had our Elliott wave theory somewhere like this, and we said that this was quite likely the end of your third wave into your fourth, and you're now on your fifth wave, and this was your 1 and 2 wave. Due to how long this was, how drawn out this pullback was, you know, we have changed our mind, and we did make a video letting people know, and this all gives kind of credence to the bigger kind of macro view that we have on the cryptocurrency space, that we think that this bull run is actually going into next year. This is what we think you've got at play, ladies and gentlemen. So you're now starting to embark on your fifth wave. And this was the kind of replicated schematic that we brought up for you. I think this was on Apple, or this was crude oil actually, sorry. And you can see that how this third wave ended was a kindred to ours. You got this pullback, which traces a lot of the previous kind of impulsive move. And then we see continuation. This is where we think you are today. And we think this is going to take you certainly into next year, well towards that $10 mark and possibly beyond. We are going to do an updated kind of price prediction video. This year didn't play out exactly how we had planned, but you know, there's two ways you can look at something when it doesn't go to plan. You can either panic and worry about it, or you can adjust your strategy and act accordingly. And that's exactly what we do on this channel, and we certainly update you as we're going through with everything. I'll pull up the so this was the RSI that we had previously looked at on the weekly time frame, and we had sort of noted that where you were in relation to the RSI is very oversold territory, and typically when you get down to these levels, you see some sort of a return move to the upside. If nothing else, you see a relief rally. So, you know, this is another bullish indicator that we have for ADA. One big reason I'm bullish on ADA is ultimately with the altcoins, a lot of what they do is dependent on Bitcoin. And I am exceptionally bullish on Bitcoin. I actually think it's going to make a move towards sort of 58K. It could go above and beyond, but I certainly think we're going to head into that direction. So we'll talk about that very quickly. You know, you can see that the sort of structure that we're in now, since we sort of made this pullback, and we noted when we saw this wick that you're probably quite likely to set up similar structure to what we saw over here and what we saw over here on more of a macro level, and that this would lead to continuation, and we did call that before this structure had even formed. And I think right now you're in a very similar place here to where you were over here before we saw this run to the upside. I am unbelievably bullish on crypto going into 2022. We've looked at lots of fundamental and technical reasons why crypto continues. Often the fundamentals are a lot more strong than the technicals. Certainly when you look at crypto as a whole, as an asset class, $2.4 trillion, we are so small. Remember the dot-com boom back in the 1990s got to 5.5 trillion at its peak. We've got a long way to go, and we are still early on that journey. And it's fantastic to be on this journey with you guys. Lots of fantastic messages over Christmas from you. So a big thank you to those of you that dropped me a message over Christmas. It was well appreciated and warmly received. So we think that this is the direction Bitcoin's going in. This is going to allow altcoins to flourish. And really, when you get to grips with what's around the corner for ADA, you know, it's a beautiful picture that's being painted. It really is, and we're super, super stoked to be on this journey. Cardano receives a lot of hate from a lot of people out there. Certainly a lot of big YouTubers, a lot of big people on Twitter, influencers, if you will. And it's really due to the fact they have their own special interests. It's not warranted. If you've done your due diligence into this project, into this coin, you'll come to the same conclusion that I have. You know, this channel has been very Cardano focused for good reasons. Ultimately, I think Cardano is here to stay, and I think it's going to do very well within the crypto space. I think a lot of cryptocurrencies, and time has taught of this, will disappear. Cardano is rooting itself into the ground, so that every time there's a gust of wind, we see volatile price movement, you know, it remains there. So I'm undeniably bullish. So make sure you guys go and give my Twitter a follow. We've called this very accurately. It's not a hard thing to do, certainly in the short term. It's not a hard thing to do, given the kind of market conditions and given everything surrounding ADA. But we are absolutely expecting that continuation, and we do genuinely believe that you're on this journey, and this is potentially the end of the fourth wave going into the fifth wave. So that means that this could be the start of the first wave that will more than likely take us into new all-time highs. I'll pull up a schematic, or certainly near new all-time highs. What you might get, what I'm sort of looking at, what I think is quite likely, doing a bit of speculation on what the future looks like, is something like this. Obviously, you're going to have pullbacks in the same way that you are currently. I do think you're going to see continuation out of this. We'll talk about levels that you could potentially drop down to. And then you'll set up some kind of a cup and handle structure, if you will, before we get that kind of continuation. So that might be, you know, your one wave within your fifth wave might take you up to sort of the previous all-time highs. You might see a rejection, which could be your two wave, and then you'll embark on your third. And I think this is going into next year. I am so bullish, so stoked to be here. Like I say, we've got a number of things coming for you on the channel, where we're going to certainly diversify, look at other altcoins, do our kind of moon altcoin bag, and so on and so forth. So this was just a really short and sweet update, guys. I missed you over the past couple of days. I must admit, it felt weird not coming on here and talking to you, but we're back. And hopefully we're back with a bang and you guys have enjoyed this video. Remember, we do have the ALLIN crypto stake pool. ALLIN is the ticker. We understand that people are wanting to go and stake with Sunday swap pools and so on and so forth. If you guys want to come back to us, you're more than welcome. We're not bitter about it one bit. And we did mint a block today. Now, we got relatively unlucky on our epochs. But the thing is with small pools is, you know, how the kind of consensus works is they'll try and balance it out so you get to around about 5%. Providing you've got enough staked, and I think we're kind of at that point. So anyone that wants to join us on Your Oil Deadless, look for ALLIN, which is the ticker. And remember, guys, head over to Twitter, give me a follow, and you'll get some more sort of timely daily updates. So we're very excited about what the future holds, and we've just shown you a few of many reasons. Ultimately, you know, this is a significant level where we're currently at for Cardano. You get through this, guys. Typically, historically, you know, you've seen some significant moves to the upside. I think this is an easy from where we are now to our prior all-time highs, 100% game. And it's only really crypto that offers these amazing opportunities. I say that there's a lot of things happening in the kind of traditional financial world, and we are going to get back to doing our daily cryptocurrency market updates tomorrow, where we look at everything that's happening in the traditional world and our world and how it's all correlated and we're affected by external factors. But there's a lot going on in that world that's kind of causing prices to act a little bit crazy. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you very much for having me back, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next YouTube video. Hit that subscribe button. A like and a comment is always appreciated. Remember, we do have the stake pool. And go and head over to my Twitter. @RealAllInCrypto is my Twitter handle. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.